Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Phil. You know me from Vega Conflict. I am a prolific member in the Vega on BV page and in the forums. If you've clashed on with me before, then cool. So, before I start this, the disclaimer here is this has nothing to do with Battle of Vortex, nothing to do with Kixeye. All opinions given here are done by myself. And they are not shared by anybody else that I know of. Before I get into any shit with anybody else for dropping one of these videos out. So, the event itself is pretty much over for most of us. We held the roundtable last night, or Rebel Therapy, rather. So, we did discuss in depth about certain things, the event prizes and the other things like that. But a shout out to Jess Burnham on the Vega Conflict on BV page. To quote him on this one, his concerns about the bombers taking such a long time to repair and the abuse that was going to follow it. A fleet bay with bomber 3s and nothing else is 6 hours. I have all bomber 2s on my fleet bay and it is an hour and 40 minutes. And I think the bomber 1s are about 25 or something stupid like that. Personally, I'd like to see some rebuttal from Kixeye on this part, that if you have that kind of wait time in between a base being hit and you being able to get back into space to either retaliate, to go fleet versus fleet with somebody, or actually go out and maybe farm some rares if you're close to finishing a build. But some dickhead has come in and popped your bay and then left. So I'm not entirely sure in what kind of universe that is acceptable. I played Vega on the premise that the fleet bay would be free, unlike the Battle Pirate dock that used to be 4 hours, then it was 2 hours, and then when they went to Outpost 6, it dropped up to 2.5 when you went to dock level 11, which is something I'll bring up in a minute. Anyone hoping to snipe a base is just going to pick up nothing but repairs. To combat this, Lex has stated in the forums that either thermals or sickos would kill those bombers like it does in the fleet versus fleet scenario. So, in which case you would have to either adjust your decoys and weaponize them, which most people don't, including me. My decoys don't have weapons on. Or replace one of your destroyers with a battleship for the extended range and fill it full of sickos, or fill it full of thermal beams, or fill it full of, I would say burst, but burst on a battleship is not going to be much use, because cutters have the small spread, battleships have a giant spread, so it's going to be pretty ineffective and you're going to lose most of your DPS every shot anyway. This in particular is kind of annoying. If you want to use these bombers, you're going to have to pay the piper for them. Since when really did we have to pay for anything that went on a base? We didn't pay for the increased repair time for Glad Driver turrets or the AP3 turret. I don't see an increase on that. But they're CMs. We don't armor. We armor CMs. We shield CMs. We make sure we've got either Mag 5 or Phased 5 AP drivers, AM warheads on the sickos, and focus on the thermals if you still run thermal in your base. I think I do, but I haven't run no, I switched mine out for sickos. Sorry, bad train of thought. And focus on the arrestor. So they are designed to take 4 or 5 hours to repair because we armor and shield them up to the teeth. The fleet bay, we don't armor, we don't shield, because we want to keep it instant repair so we can go out, we can hit people, we can go fleet versus fleet, we can go and farm res. So that puts that down. Again, on top of that, if you're out in space with a fleet and your base beast is hit and your fleet is still out, and then your fleet gets killed, say it's Zen 3, Zen 4 thermal revs, which mine are, which are a day and 6 hours to repair, another hour and a half on top of that before I can actually hit repair on that fleet. So I've got to wait an hour and 40 minutes before I can actually repair my fleet. So instead of an hour and a day and 6, it's a day and nearly 8. If you include other fleets on top of that, which some of us do if you don't coin very heavy, you could be repairing you could have 2 or 3 days of repairs. But if some little cocksucker decides to try and just come in, pop your fleet bay and leave, which more than likely a lot of people are going to try and do these days, to try and put people out of the game, players in certain alliances that I won't mention. But it's a dick move. It's a dick move by Kickside to remove the repair, to make things more than what they should be, and this is unacceptable. It's Lex said something is going to come in soon to put but that's all he said. He didn't say what it would do. He didn't say what it was. He didn't say when it was coming. All he said that it was coming. And that's another hashtag soon moment that we're so used to hearing from various CMs in the past, from Skidor and from Carter and now from Lex. And it seems to be they're all drinking from the same cup. And it scares me. It really does, to see the way the game going the way it is. It's going exactly the same way as War Commander, and it's going exactly the same way as Battle Pirates has already gone. But it's gone in the direction of mobile. This is what I said last night, and I will repeat myself again. This heretic is nothing more than to cater for the mobile player who is too lazy to go and farm his blueprints. They'll auto all the way up to 35 because that's easy enough to do. There is an auto 40 fleet out there, but by the time you get there, it's not worth doing. Unless you're willing to sit back and wait till your end game, miss out on the APOC and a lot of other decent blueprints that are in the 40 to 45 tier, Thermal 3 for your base, and a bunch of other stuff. I'd have to go in and look, and I'm not in the game, so I'm not going to bother, because I'm doing this broadcast right here and right now. A lot of things we didn't bring up last night because we simply don't have the time, and we don't run over on Rebel therapy shows. Because Strider has hold of the button, and when Strider hits the button, Strider has the button, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. If this is going to be the new thing with Kixeye, it's not good. It's not good at all. And in the future, the longer we go with this, the worse it's going to get. The more coin we're going to have to spend. And it's not acceptable anymore. We spend our money to play the game. Some of us don't spend, some of us do. I'm a spender. I'm a pretty mid to heavy coiner. I'm not a super coiner, but I do coin fairly regularly. Up until a few months ago during the Osprey event, which you all know what happened with there. I wasn't particularly pleased. The event after that one, I didn't particularly like either, and this event is a joke. And the point system for this one is flawed. The curve is flawed. The exponential curve is a load of fucking bullshit. It really, really is. And I said it last night, and I'll say it again. For 80% of the fleets, getting 40% of the points. Since when is that? That's not exponential. That's a fucking joke. I'm not hitting 100% because my fleet couldn't hit a 55 in one go. I would get to 23% left on the fleet, and I would lose time. And I would always lose out on the two lances, the two lances at the back, or every time without fail, because there wasn't enough time for me to do it and take minimal damage. So your point system is busted. Your progressive curve isn't progressive, Or rather, your exponential curve shouldn't be exponential, it should be progressive. If I hit 50%, I expect to get 50% of the points. And I would expect anybody to hit 50% and get 50% of the points, and the point system to carry on from that specific point. You go above 50%, you get above 50%. Getting half of the points for doing twice the fucking job is a piss take, Kixeye. And I don't like it. And I'm not happy with it. I understand why your siege detachment fleets are scaled the way they are. I understand why the points were what they were. And I do give you your point. I will give you your dues. You did put out the hotfix to increase the rage meter, which is perfectly acceptable. I could hit 255s and get a base hit 255s, get a base hit 255s, get a base hit. So that was acceptable to me. But a lot of other things aren't. And that's nothing short of fucking stupid. And that's exactly how I intend to continue. I will tell people exactly how it is. I will say exactly what's on my mind. I may have to censor myself from time to time, but this is unofficial. This is nothing. This is me having a rant on something that is Vega was a passion of mine. It still is in a point. It's not what it used to be anymore. But that's the thing. You get one, you get another. Vega was a passion of mine. I've moved on to something else now. And if Vega wants me to stick around, it's going to have to pull something out of its butt. And I very much doubt that it actually will. We touched on this last night. At the end of September, Unity is no longer supported in most browsers. Chrome no longer supports Unity as it is unless you have the NP-API support enabled, which you can do in your options. If you can just go and, ironically, you can Google the Google option. But you can go in there and you can adjust your settings and you can have Unity running in Chrome again. The day Unity drops off Chrome and there's no replacement for it, unless you drop to Steam or you get your WebGL plugin fixed, it's game over. Because I refuse to play on mobile. I will never play on the mobile platform because I can't stand Vega on mobile. So if it comes to the point where you try and kill off the PC master race, we'll bite back. I'll quit Vega permanently. I've done it with Kickside games before, and this will be another one in the long line of quit games that ended their life badly. There was only one game so far that I am playing religiously, and that's Fallout Shelter. It's not related to Kickside. It's not related to a free online game. It's a little app that I like to play just for shits and giggles. So that being said, there's not much else that I can say at this point. Yeah. The comparison with the Heretic cruiser and the other cruisers in the tier. There is a comparison on the Vega Conflict on BV page of a phased Mag Glad fleet. They're all pretty much laid out the same. Most DPS is there and a few other things. That being said, the suggestion is for the Mag phased option, just as a punch fleet, either for people who get pissy or just to try and kill somebody. But there's nothing to stop somebody from kiting a Heretic out with a Glad Rapture, or not a Glad Rapture, an Echo Rapture, or an Echo Zeals, or something like that. Something that doesn't have the speed to catch up to other things. And overall, the builds that I've come out with, the Mark II Rev and the APOC, outlast them both in a hypothetical battle. The Mark II Rev and the APOC would outlast a Heretic, simply because of the double shield slot, the increased health on the APOC, and the increased health on the Mark II Rev. The Rapture wouldn't stand a hope in hell in a phased mag battle, that is. If you had something different on the Rapture, then it wouldn't particularly matter. The heretic is something that is there just to be coined. To coin repair, to coin the fleet, coin, and that's all I'm seeing lately. You coin your event, you coin your fleet. You coin the event, you coin a fleet. You coin an event, you coin the fleet. You coin an event, you coin the fleet. And it's the repeated vicious cycle. This is what you get from a free online game. You do get your paywall, and this is the ultimate paywall. If you go out and blow a heretic up, that's 36 hours of repair on the build that I came up with. You can lower that down by using Iridium, which I do have the same build set up for Iridium. That is a lot less. That is only a 16-hour repair. In fact, I think it's actually slightly less. It's a 12-hour repair with the Iridium. So instead of having a 16-hour repair job, it's another thing altogether. Although when I was doing this, the calculator does have a slight issue with its modifiers at the moment that I can't do anything about because I don't run the Vega ship calculator. So everyone who's saying I run the Vega ship calculator and something's broken, don't come to me. Go to BAD Top Gear. He is in the forum. I just write code. Thanks for watching. If you watched, if you didn't, then you'll never know that I told you to go fuck yourself at the end of this video. Thank you, and good night.